Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? Back again with another daily Casper crypto live stream, and looks like we may be on the cusp of a significant rally for Casper, with there apparently being $12 million worth of Casper shorts that are close to being liquidated. We have a lot of very important announcements to cover in today's stream regarding Casper, regarding crypto as well, and ultimately a positive outlook with Bitcoin now at $108,500. If Bitcoin can close the daily time frame above and around this level, that could potentially be a very, very good indicator that Bitcoin will surpass all-time highs very, very shortly. But of course, the macro news that's coming out on Wednesday and Thursday, being the CPI and the PPI, will be equally very, very important to determine where the market's going to be going as well. Either way, things are looking up for crypto, and I think Casper's next leg up hopefully is close as well. If we have proven that we have held at 8 cents, that would be fantastic stuff. So we'll get into all the sources as always. So if you enjoy the daily live streams, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And I only just realized that, technically speaking, 31st of July / 3rd of August 24 was when I first started this journey with all of you here. So we are at the 10-month mark. Of course, I had the occasional days that I've missed due to family situations and due to, well, actually it's all been family. Otherwise, there's never been a day that I've missed because I could not be bothered. So technically speaking, I have been here every day with all of you here for almost a year straight. And we're going to make that milestone. Of course, I'm going to be away all of next weekend, or the weekend coming even, because I will be at a friend's wedding. But it's going to be a milestone, so at least to be on my 1 year of live streaming with all of you here. So look forward to that. And yeah, welcome back everyone again to the channel. Wing Hong bro, welcome my man. Second indeed. Bimunya, not just yet, but hopefully we are going to see a big rally in the coming days and weeks ahead. Maybe first, not sure. I believe you are first right now, my man. So, you know, congrats to being first in the chat, brother. Welcome back, Dimitar, man. Best Casper YouTuber. I appreciate you very, very much, my man. Great to have you back again. Welcome back, Falco, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well. And you too, brother. Marcel, what's up, Caspians? Are you ready for the breakout? I am most definitely ready for it. I am more than ready to see Casper start making that move upwards. Of course, if we stay down longer, I'll scoop up some more of the dips, but I think now's the time where I want to see some movement and some FOMO back into the project. I'm getting 2 30-second ads before stream. I apologize, Wing Hong, again, I don't control them. It's what YouTube's doing for you, unfortunately. Welcome back, DD bro, you're doing very, very well, brother, and you too again. Falco, quick, someone poke Casper with a stick. Honestly, maybe now the time to see Casper make that move upwards. We'll have to wait and see. A long stick indeed, yes, please do poke it with a very, very long stick. No, not now. I need to accumulate more. I mean, yes, I'm also in that sort of mindset. I'd love Casper to start rallying, but also I'd love to accumulate more of the low prices. So the longer it stays down, the more I scoop up, you know. Live in DC, bro. You're doing very, very well, you awful people. Another day of lackluster Casper price action. Yep, it does feel that way, definitely, but hopefully it won't be that way for too much longer. Cheyenne made the code corrupt when leaving. I mean, that's one way to look at it, but I know you're joking, but that is not the case at all. We need to see some life in this coin soon. We will. I'm very confident we will. I just saw the video about currency and other stuff. I have not seen that video myself, Didi, so if you can link that to me, please, on Discord. I'll have a look at that during my downtime throughout this week before I go to the wedding. But there's a lot of big projects coming out for Casper, and I'm very optimistic about all of them and what's going to be coming very, very soon. That being said, let's get into the content for today's stream. We can see right now Casper on CMC is currently at the $55 million 24-hour trading volume, which is still lackluster, up 71% in the past 24 hours, which is nice, but it's just 55 million is not a lot at all. It's very, very low. You can see dominated by the likes of BitGet, 12.69, BitGet 8%, Mexi 17.98, Gate 24.57, Kraken's at 1.7, and so on and so forth. So again, volume being dominated by the likes of Gate and Mexi. BitGet still staying quite high up there, but we need to see a lot more from the big tier ones. If we look at Casper on TradingView, we can see right now it's currently up 1.39% on the daily time frame, valued at 8.77 cents. And in the words of Christian Ludwig here, crypto is about to send so hard over the next months. 90% of people will be completely caught off guard. And this is just purely speculation. And as he highlights here, intuition. But I am in agreement with him. I do believe that we are on the absolute cusp. Not financial advice, of course, but from where I'm standing, from what I am seeing, for all the metrics coming out, the macro data, the crypto fundamentals and regulatory frameworks coming out with Casper and what they're building as well, I do believe that we are mere months, maybe even a few weeks away from seeing a big rally, and then crypto sending so hard, and many people are going to be caught off guard by it. A lot of people right now are still trying to short this market, and that's proven also in Casper right now. Nearly 12 million Casper shorts could be liquidated if price rises above 9 cents. So I need to change the title real quick because I thought it was $12 million. No, it's just 12 million Casper. But either way, that's 12 million Casper that is going to be liquidated if it does surpass 9 cents. A major liquidity cluster of short positions is stacked at just above 9 cents, totaling nearly $12 million. Okay, so it is $12 million then. So Casper needs to sort that out. I need to change that title again. So $12 million for the Casper. That is close to being liquidated if you surpass 9 cents. If Casper breaks above this level, it could trigger a short squeeze, forcing liquidations and potentially accelerate upward momentum. And that is precisely how trading works. If Casper surpasses 9 cents, which is very, very close, around here, if it surpasses right here, we will likely see a short squeeze, not necessarily a massive rally up to 13 cents, but we could definitely see a short squeeze of sorts, and causing therefore Casper to make that push upwards, maybe up to the 10 cents zone, another key level of resistance, and then making that rally up continuously in correlation to the fact that crypto seems to be also on the cusp of making that breakout as well. Looking at Bitcoin again, it is still, behaving in correlation to that M2 money supply we keep talking about. We kind of line it up right now, we can see Casper is currently following in unison with the M2 money supply right now, making this rally up following it. So in that regard, maybe, just maybe, we'll see Casper push to 120k by the FOMC meeting coming up in just 9 days time. We'll have to wait and see, of course, but right now the market is acting as intended, and a lot of good things are on the horizon, and Casper therefore could see that move upwards, surpassing the 10, 11, 12, 13 cent zones and making that next move upwards. The next key level of support or resistance even should be surpassed. The recent all-time high around 13 cents or so would be probably around 16 cents. I'd like to take a gander, if you will. If you draw out this trend line here, we can see around the zone here of 16 cents needs to be another level of resistance that we need to try and surpass. So that's what I'm looking out for right now. We'll probably see quite a strong level of a rebound, probably around here, and then us trying to break above it and bursting through, again depending on the catalysts. The big stuff coming up for Casper, potential tier 1 listings and whatnot as well. A lot of exciting things coming up for Casper and its price action, I'm hoping. And it's been long overdue, very, very long overdue. Hopefully we don't see any red herrings or black swans. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Right now today we are hearing, which I did not preload the post I don't think, we are hearing that apparently you have the likes of Donald Trump and China who are actually holding talks in London where I live today. So that is also a potential reason why the markets are doing better today, because they are anticipating that this will be a reassuring and, what's what I'm looking for, reassuring and constructive and helpful trade talk that will hopefully squash the rest of this lingering uncertainty, and therefore get the whole tariff thing under control, the FUD under control, and the markets therefore start to do very, very well. Again, we'll have to wait and see what's announced when it does and when it is made public. Now, in regards to more Casper news right now, we have got some very interesting stuff as well. In regards to here, the altcoin list highlights in response to the official Travlad, around 70% of Casper supply are moved in the last 3 months. That is insane. And the last time that happened, it only happened with Bitcoin, a store of value rotation from the 16-year Bitcoin grand cycle to Casper grand cycle will be televised. Now, that is, of course, very good news, but of course, it's good and bad, because at the same time, Casper, while fantastic, is not meant to be a store of value. It can be meant to be what Bitcoin also meant to be as well, and what it couldn't achieve for the medium of exchange. But Casper should not be only a store of value. But I guess right now, where there's still being quite a lackluster DEX and DeFi with Casper that's still being built, it being used as a store of value makes sense, showcasing a lot of long-term holder support, people who believe in the project. But I'm hoping that when the DEX and DeFis are built, the holders and people of the community. Of course, many will still hold Casper and just leave it in cold storage, and that's perfectly fine. I'll do that myself, but I'll definitely be using some of my Casper to participate in the ecosystem and, you know, test certain elements out, whether it be Zealous swaps, whether it be Casper Com, and other stuff like Casway and much more coming out. I'll be looking forward to see what they all have to offer and provide. Of course, doing my own due diligence and research to make sure that I am also not getting taken advantage of, because, spoiler alert once more, do your own research. That sort of stuff's going to happen in Casper frequently. You had Change Finance, you had other people who've come into Casper who've just completely taken advantage of you. Even now, with what's coming out with Casplex, with Igra and so much more, there's still a possibility you get taken advantage of, so do your own research and be perfectly aware. But things are looking up for Casper. To kind of gloss over what we announced yesterday, this post here made from Casper Daily. Of course, Igra Labs now being the competitor, if you will, to the likes of Casplex. They have now finally announced that their testnet is up and coming. It's coming up mid-July, so in about a month from now. The testnet launched mid-July. Igra Labs has officially announced that its new blockchain testnet named Caravel is set to go live mid-July. This will be the first time developers can test programmable features on the Igra network, marking an important step towards real-world applications and a more advanced blockchain system. The testnet will allow developers to start building and experimenting with smart contracts in a safe testing environment before the final version is released, which the timeline they've given right now is Q4, which seems very, very late. And that also, for me, is kind of like a comparison between the likes of Casplex and Igra. Casplex has been perceived as someone who's trying to pump something out very, very quickly, and hopefully they do it correctly and don't end up causing issues. But Igra, being the team behind, the Daglad team as well at the same time as well, people who are part of Daglad also part of Igra Labs as well, they are, in a sense, almost the embodiment of what Casper is, which is frustratingly, painfully slow, but doing their due diligence, making sure that everything is properly done and done correctly. So we know that the testnet's going to be coming out in July, which is early Q3, beginning of Q3, mid-July, so early Q3, and the mainnet launch has been scheduled for a rough time of Q4, which is 3 months later. Now, I had to see if that come to fruition or not, or will it be earlier? I mean, I hope it'll be earlier, but I have to wait and see. But it's, it's taken a... Remember the hard fork, 10 BPS hard fork, that took technically 8 months? It got announced... Actually, was it 8 months? It got announced, I think, in October, November time, I believe. And then it took all the way up till May 5th to actually get launched. So if these things take time, they're frustrating. I don't think Q4 personally is too late for Casper, and I've explained my reasons as to why, but I'll get into more of that in a moment. It's going to be frustratingly but late, but I think it will still be in time for Casper to catch the cycle and see a lot more FOMO and adoption. This kind of trial period is critical to finding bugs, improving security, and getting feedback from the developer community. Before I get to more of this post here, though, I want to quickly tell you this post here as well from Towser, which again, we did cover this briefly yesterday when covering the FUD from Johnny, when Johnny and Towser had a bit of a back and forth on the internet, if you will, regarding Towser just simply asking for some very basic understanding and knowledge of what Casplex and KF are and what they're trying to bring. And Johnny got very defensive and started deflecting, which was frustrating to read and watch. And Towser has made a post here saying, after researching Casplex and encountering unconstructive responses from individuals, meaning Johnny, within the KEF and maybe the Casplex team as well, the conclusion that I've come to is that the Casplex feels like a rushed project with early signs of poor planning and communication. Therefore, I'm going to focus my attention on looking forward to Igra Labs and the upcoming Layer 2, which looks promising with a transparent team behind it. They just an article, time to do a deep dive. You hold personal view, not financial advice. And that is, again, that last part is also critically important. It's a personal view, not financial advice. Of course, all of you need to do your own research. Thank you very much, Justin X Crypto, for the $2 donation, brother. Thank you very much. I don't know why they not pop up on my chat, but I did see the dono on the YouTube studios. Thank you very much, man. Zealous swap on Casper is a big deal. It is a very big deal. From what I've seen so far, again, people had a very negative sentiment about it because of their pre-sale and the tokenomics, which I will cover a little bit in this stream, but I do have posts here which does showcase their superiority already, which is huge news. So this would be something else very, very worth covering. And they also now have flipped Nacho. So yeah, maybe it's worth looking into a bit more. So again, let and know in a short moment. But thank you very much again for the $2 donation, brother. Thank you very much indeed. As I was saying here, so again, it is home personal opinion. Me personally, I will likely participate in the Casplex ecosystem because I do want to see what the smart contract look like on Casper. But I would be lying if I did say that I don't feel more reassurance behind Igra. And that's just my personal view again. By all means, don't just blindly take my word for things. You're your own person, do your own research, trade at your own discretion. I have no negative, or I have no outlying, flashing red negative sentiment of Casplex at all. What they've done so far I think has been very, very good. I think the KRC20 element, at least the first launch, was a bit premature. But I think for the most part they have been quite good for getting Casper, you know, stress tested and getting it out there in the public eye a little bit more. But there are certain elements, as there is with any community, I'm sure, that's just, I wish wasn't a part of it. The toxicity and the defensive nature. But I will be participating in Casplex when the full mainnet comes out. But I am also equally as intrigued and more intrigued for Igra. If I was to hazard a guess, I'd like to believe that the Casplex mainnet will probably be coming out this month in accordance to Casper Door's leaks about the fact that we will probably be seeing it coming out before Q3. And the Igra will be releasing their testnet on July, so that'll be in Q3, so it'll be coming out late in that regard, but they'll hopefully catch up and do their due diligence and make a very, very good DeFi layer 2 as well. But either way, that's Casplex. Nothing against them personally, but their lack of transparency is definitely a cause for concern. And the one thing I want to make sure is, while I was fortunate enough to not get taken advantage of the change finance because I did not participate in that DEX, I don't want to be taken advantage of course. I don't think anybody does. So if there's not enough transparency and not enough understanding, because I mean there's a point to be made, right? You think about Igra. While I have not found the post, I think if I can find it real quickly whilst I am on my tangents as I do. There was a post about Igra, about their team. If I go to page 6, hopefully I'll find it. Maybe page 5. But you can see the team behind Igra, or at least enough of the members so you know for the most part who they are. But then when you look at Casplex, here they are. This is Igra's team right here, so you can see for the most part a lot of the key members behind Igra Labs. You got the captain CEO, Pavel Emdin here. I butchered your name, I apologize if I butchered your name here. Who is a serial entrepreneur, over 20 years in software engineering, 7 years in building and growing crypto companies. You got an unknown member here, to be disclosed, or at least to be disclosed. I haven't done further deep diving in to find out who it is. But then you've got here Dennis and Mike, both who are part of the Igra Labs team, which maybe it's a personal bias, of course, knowing that Casper and the lead devs behind Casper, being Son Polinsky, used to be Shy, me, Michael Sutton, also a part of Igra Labs as well. But that does incentivize a bit more confidence in my belief. Point being is you can see a team here of some members, and I'm sure if I do more research I can find more out about it. When you try to find out the Casplex team, you have Chris Kang, shout out to him, fantastic. 5BB, also shout out to him, fantastic. Other than that, I don't really know. For example, the KEF, Johnny is the executive vice president. Who's the president? I don't know that actually. Now, I have not done a lot of deep dive information to research into it, so maybe I can find it, maybe I can't, I don't know. But there is a question to be asked here, as Towns asked here. There seems to be just a lack of communication, a lack of information, and therefore, from his perspective, seems like a rush project. Now, I'm not trying to FUD Casplex, despite it sounds like I am. I'm not trying to. I think Casplex is going to be a successful project. I pray it is, and I pray they don't take advantage of people. But if you want to, you know, incentivize more confidence from a community, especially people like us, who are very weary of everything. That's why we're in proof of work fair, not decentralized, because we don't trust proof of stakes for the most part. Then we want to have communication and transparency, which the Casplex team have not been providing in its full force, and Johnny has not been either. But again, I digress. Point being is Igra is now also releasing stuff, so we're seeing the Layer 2, the DEXs coming out for Casper on these initiatives coming out very, very soon. You'll see Sparkle come out hopefully in the summer as well, which should be fantastic. So Igra here describes Caravel as a new programmable system that prioritizes decentralization and security. That means they are focused on keeping control of the network speed out among users, network spread out among users, and ensuring everything runs securely with no shortcuts. Caravel launch is part of the larger roadmap Igra calls the Voyage Map. Previous stages of this roadmap have focused on core upgrades and preparing the network architecture. With Caravel, the project enters a new phase focused on usability, with real applications where the applications can begin taking shape. And the team has also hinted that there may be developer tools, documentation, and possibly hackathons or other incentives to encourage developers to try and build on the testnet. That is also very, very big. Any incentive to get people to build and partake in the ecosystem is a very, very big thing for adoption and also building trust. And also stress testing what they're trying to build as well. Looking forward to plan. The plan is to use the feedback and the testing from Caravel to fine-tune the network, fix any issues, and prepare a full mainnet release. That main release, which will allow full public use of smart contracts, is expected sometime later this year or early next year. Again, the time frame is still a little bit uncertain, but the big thing all in all, and a lot more, is going to be coming very, very soon. Cashback is going to be, if I was to give it in the form of analogies, I'd say Casplex right now is the starter course, the teaser, which may very well end up filling you up if you're not, take into account how hungry you are. But Igra is going to be the main course. Or no, that's unfair to say at all, because actually Project Sparkle will be the main course and the dessert. Igra and Casplex will be two different type of entrees as starters. Both are in a similar sort of level, in a sense, both trying to produce this very same thing with slightly different approaches. And you might like one of them, you might not like the other one. You get to choose between the two, and they'll be able to bridge between each other as well. Project Sparkle will be coming out, upgrading both those incentives to become native, to smart contract native to Casper, and that will take Casper off to a completely new level. We've got a lot of stuff being built on Casper. Castle Wallet being one of the new wallets coming to Casper as well. Since launching their browser extension in February, Castle has been on a steady path of growth. Small, by adding protocol support, polishing the UX, and gradually introducing Casper standards like KYC 20, the memes, KYC 721, and KNS. Today, Castle extension is reaching maturity, and we're now working on a major upgrade, full layer 2 compatibility, baked right in, which is huge. No switches, no configs, just seamless layer 1 to layer 2 canonical. It's fantastic. So on the mobile, they kicked off the iOS public beta last week. There'll be Android testing soon enough as well, I believe, to come out in due time. So that is very good stuff to see. The official mobile launch should be coming equally in July. So it looks like July is going to be a very, very big time for Casper. Maybe by that point we'll see Casplex mainnet launch. We'll see Igra testnet launch. We'll see wallets coming out that also will support this sort of infrastructure as well. And I'm sure we'll see many, many more as well, like stuff from Zealous as well. Zealous have the best of both worlds. They're also building both on Casplex and also on Igra, participating in both testnets and devnets. Zealous, apparently, had just handled a DDoS attack, which of course is worrying, and that attack was strong enough to overwhelm the likes of Cloudflare, AWS Shield, and Akemi. So it was a serious attack, a very strong one that would have destroyed very well-renowned systems, very strong infrastructure and protection, and they handled it. We just handled a 17 million request DDoS attack with not even 1 millisecond of downtime, easily. That to me is very reassuring. That to me is huge. Now, of course, with the ecosystem going to explode and expand and grow more and more, you'll see probably more of these attacks, maybe in a larger scale as well. But if they can handle a 17 million request DDoS attack easily, apparently, then it reassures me that they're going to be fine as the ecosystem continues to grow and expand more and more as well. Now, my only thought about this, which is, again, I'm not trying to downplay Zealous at all, because, again, they've done a fantastic job here. Well played to them, the Great Wall of Zealous, if you will, doing a great job there. My only thought here is that when they were doing their pre-sale for Zeal, they tried to do it through Casper.com. And the whole dilemma around that point, they tried to launch Zeal, a pre-sale Zeal on Casper.com or Casper.com twice. And apparently in both occasions, they failed due to DDoS attacks, whether it was constructed by Zealous or whether it was done just coincidentally. Again, there was a whole dilemma around that point, and I'm remembering that now as I'm speaking about this. So they've handled 17 million requests easily. Shout out to Zealous. Huge work for you. It does make me think again, what happened to Casper.com? Is the infrastructure worse than Zealous, or was it just a coincidence that it just happened, or was it orchestrated by Zealous to downplay Casper.com to then, elevate themselves when something similar happens to them? I'm just raising a question. I'm not pointing fingers. That's not my premise here. I'm raising a question because something you should be thinking about. If you're going to partake in the ecosystem, you should think about who you want to use. Right now, my preferred platform is still Casper.com. That may change to Zealous as they are actively participating and doing a lot more here, and that is very reassuring to know they can handle, sort of large-scale attacks. It is great to see, and their adoption is going to expand more and more. So, shout out to these individuals who are working on the project right now. And again, they're going to be able to partake in both Casper, Casplex, and also Igra. So you'll see them going live on Casplex probably first, and then Igra shortly afterwards. Also seen probably as a result of this big news, Zeal's now flipped Nacho and become the largest KRC20 token, which is good for them, up 25%. It's only 580 holders, where Nacho's got 18,000, but it's good for them. However, again, in the strive of information that we do here, we don't FUD, we don't, the premise here is not to FUD per se, but to just bring information to make you think, so you are informed yourself. Again, you see it here, you had to be crazy to get Zeal. Top 1 Zeal, so the person who holds the most amount of Zeal has 78% of the supply. Easy rug pull. Casper says most of the supply is locked. I know Mantra had that too, and look what happened. I almost lost a lot of money. Luckily, I saw before that little rug pull. Put the money in Zeal that you're willing to lose because it's possible. That is just, again, something to take into account, right? Zeal, going back to the comment of Just the Next Crypto, again, shout out for the donation. Thank you very much, brother. Zealous swap on Casper is a big deal. I do believe it is, but keep your wits about you because, again, we remember Mantra. We were here talking about it live when it happened, the rug pull. Tokenomics are an important factor. Despite most of them being locked up, Mantras were locked up as well, and look what happened. Lock doesn't mean that it's safe. Not necessarily. That's the tokenomics right now. You got 80% in affinity pools, 24% in farms, 20% was pre-sale, 10% to the core team. Listings and marketing 9%. You got 5% to Natural the Cat, 10% airdrops. You got 3% here to something, and 1% also to something else as well that I cannot see here. But again, while it's doing very well, and I'm optimistic what Zeal are going to be bringing in the future. I hope again they are trustworthy. Looking at their tokenomics, looking at their holders, it does, as it does as an investor for me, it does make me a little bit haphazardous. It's not like Nacho. Nacho I bought into below 10 mil. When that whole dip happened with Shy, I bought into the Nacho there because I think Nacho is a great project. I think it's got a lot of big things coming to it. It's doing a lot in the ecosystem itself. I think Nacho will be a very, very good project. So I bought some around these dips here. Now, I have not bought any Zeal just yet. And that's not to say I won't. I may very well do in the future. But when I see Nacho with a 10.5 mil market cap, with, well, actually now it has flipped Zeal again, so, shout out to Nacho. But when I see 10.6 mil market cap with 18,000 holders, I'm like, okay, so it's, and even then I can check Nacho. I can check Nacho on Casper, and I can see when checking Nacho on Casper, the holders, you got 10% to an exchange CoinNext, 2% to Gate, 2% to PioNext. I'm not sure if these are exchanges or just wallet holders, but either way, that's a distribution. You go to Zeal again, and you can see why it has seemingly all been locked up. You go to Zeal and you see in holders 78% in just one wallet. That is just something to take into account. Just to have your wits about you. Again, the point here made from the Casper hitchhiker, I think is a very great point to make. Simply put, if you want to get involved in the ecosystem, by all means go for it. I'm not saying you don't do it, but only put in money that you're willing to lose in the off chance that they do something that is in bad faith. It's just protection of yourself and not trying to put a target on Zealous at all. It's a protection of your own self. Because ultimately, despite we're all here as a community together, trying to do the best for each other, No one's going to have your best interest at heart better than yourself. You are effectively always going to be you against the world. So don't blindly trust people. Never do that in this space. Always do your own research and your own due diligence. But that is good for Zeal. You know, I'm happy that Zeal have been able to thwart a very, very big DDoS attack, and it's proving a lot of. It's definitely reassuring a lot of. I mean, it's making me more confident in them. Definitely seeing that, I'm like, okay, so they are, you know, definitely strong, and they're definitely providing quite a good amount of protection as well. So that is reassuring to hear from them. So maybe I will partake in their ecosystem very, very soon. I have nothing against Zealous at all. Truth be told, I have nothing against them. It's just it's just where I currently stand, where I'm not partake too much in this meme community right now, while the markets are not really as volatile, not really moving as much. But things are, for the most part, I think, looking very, very strong. We've got the Tokenomics addresses right now we can see as well, when that does decide it wants to load up. You can see right now we've got 530,000 now. We have passed the next milestone, 530k. We can see again who's holding what. Mexi still above that Aquaman status. That one still at 750 million, 571 million. Casper uphold still up there. A lot of unknown wallets still up there, but we are still seeing a big amount of inflows coming through. We've seen a 14.5 mil today from, you know, a 2x in this wallet here, or an extra, you know, over 2x added here. So I had 10 million beforehand, and now it's got 24. You saw this wallet make its first big purchase, pretty much from 1 mil to now 8 mil. You're seeing some big bulk buying of Casper right now. So people are obviously preparing for a big move up. And again, if you see it surpass $9, we'll see Casper therefore a lot of shorts get liquidated, and that could incentivize therefore a short squeeze and a massive rally up for Casper. Of course, we'll have to wait and see where that pans out and what's happening in the markets. I've got some more posts to get into in a moment. I'll get into, but let's get into some questions real quick because it's been a very long time since then. Although in saying that, my computer's lagging, so I'm probably going to end up having to reload the chat very soon. My PC is getting overheated. It's been terrible today, honestly. My PC has been very, very bad. Yep, it's still lagging. Please don't. I bought 20k Casper. More. I don't care if it's 8, 9 or 10 cents. If you're here for long term, I agree. I do agree. If you're here for the long term, it doesn't really matter whether it's 8, 9 or 10 cents time in the market. It's better than trying to time the market. What are these big projects? Igra, Casplex, the stuff being built on top of them as well. That's going to incentivize more adoption, and also Project Sparkle is going to be releasing hopefully in the summer. That will also incentivize native smart contracts for Casper. You'll see stablecoins coming on Casper as well, and a lot more. So big things incoming. I hope this rally will ignite all big exchange listings. I hope so as well. There's always a possibility, but again, we'll have to just wait and see. Welcome back, Kryptoni, bro. Yo, yo, yo to you too, my man. And yes, Justin, I've already said hello, but welcome back to you again, brother. Our time is finally here. I agree, Casper is going to the moon in due time. And yeah, Casper swap is a big deal. So yeah, maybe get a bag if you choose to. It's like pancake swap for Casper. Q4 should be around the top of the board in my opinion. Quick with the nose. I mean, I think Q4 is going to be a big time. I think we'll see a good rally in the coming weeks or so, probably going into Q3. Following that banana zone that I know Raoul Powell talks about quite a lot. And then Q4, we've got a lot of big catalysts to come out still. We've got a lot of regulatory frameworks to come out still. So maybe we see a top in Q4. Maybe we see it go into Q1 26 again. I have to wait and see. I'm paying reaction to the markets and determining my opinion based on what I see. So we'll to more questions right now while my chat is lagging. I'm about to. What's up, Ronnie, bro? You're doing very, very well. Again, not getting married. I know you're joking. I'm going to attend a wedding. Hopefully one day I actually am the one getting married. Welcome back, Ghostly Bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. And you too, Bingo Bango. What up to you too, my man? DC, why is that a big deal? Just a DEX. I mean, it isn't just a DEX, but it's still a big deal. It's a marketplace where you can participate in the Casper ecosystem. Without it, then it's just a layer 2 of nothing really more to go on it. So it's still a good thing. And again, them being able to handle a significant DDoS attack like that is a very big deal. It's a testament to their security. Welcome back, Ben, bro. You're doing very, very well, my man, again. And yes, I am also good. Hope you're doing very well again myself, or yourself even. I would have been first if I hadn't been working. Hey, there's always next time, Gosu. I promise you, it's always next time. And yes, you're right. If you enjoy the streams, always leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back, and now YouTube, bro. A small rise now for Bitcoin and a dip behind just before the FOMC. Casper has often dropped just before the FOMC, and after we generally know Casper is up, but I look at liquidity and take. I mean, yeah, I think again, typically we do see a bit of a pullback just before the FOMC meeting, which is again in 9 days. We might see a pullback towards the end of the week, or on the weekend maybe we'll see a pullback, which I will not be here for, unfortunately. So I pray nothing too big happens on that weekend. I'll probably give updates in my Discord community. So if you're not part of the Discord community, then go check that out here. Link down below here. I'll be giving some very in-depth, detailed updates, despite me being at a wedding, to my VIPs. So again, if you want to be more in tune to the community and find out a lot more information, alpha information, trade alerts, educational videos that we're going to be releasing this week as well, then check out the VIP. But otherwise then, while I'm not going to be here this weekend, from Friday to Sunday, you'll be able to check out the channels here and get updates either way. But I do suspect we're probably due for... I do think Bitcoin, again, is showing signs that it might make that push up again. If you manage to break above 109k, which is where its all-time high was back here, that'd be really reassuring. How confident are we in Casplec's work? Are they working with the core Casper team or entirely separately? They are third party. They are third party. So while I'm sure there's some conversations going between the Casper team, the core, and the Casplex, for the most part, I'm pretty sure it's just Casplex independently doing their work. So the question is, we don't really know. From my understanding, the initial launch of KYC 20 was done solely inherently from the Casplex team, and when that failed, they actually got the help of the Casper core team to fix it. That's what I heard. I may be wrong in that. Please don't quote me. Find out for yourself. But if that's the case, therefore, then yeah, I want to say that they are a third party that is predominantly working separately. And yes, again, while we do know some of the Casplex team, being Chris Kang, being 5BB, being Johnny, the executive vice president, we don't actually know many more from the team. At least I've not done enough research to look more into them. So it's just me raising, again, what Towns was saying here about there seems to be a lack of information about them, poor communication as well being a big factor, because he was trying to ask questions and people were either not responding to him or responding in a very defensive manner, if you will, and poor planning as well, which again, you could argue that is the case with KRC 20's first launch. That was, despite it was a renowned success in the sense that it did have a lot of transactions, if you will, you know, it had one of the it surpassed Litecoin's highest ever daily transactions just with KRC 20, so that's a big deal. So it did, you know, pass a milestone in the proof of work era. It was also a big failure, KRC 20. In regards to Casplex, the layer 2, from what I've seen, it's been a much bigger success than the KRC 20 was. So that's good. But, you know, the first KRC 20 was renowned to actually be a failure. The relaunch was a lot better. You had the issue of Casware, which I don't think is really Casplex's fault. But either way, the relaunch was a lot better. But it does seem to be an element of this to just, again, take into consideration. I'm not fudding Casplex. I do hold some of the projects, some of the memes. So evidently, I do like what they released to an extent. And I do trust them to an extent. I'm just harnessing, again, do your own research. If you want to partake in the ecosystem, go for it. Some are going to be waiting for Igra, and that's perfectly fine. And again, their testnet's going to be coming out next month. And also, it's a very big, this is also regarding Casplex, but, you know, could still be very big for Casper as well. We got here from CoinPal.io. As promised, IBAN is coming. Stay tuned. Looking for a crypto-friendly bank? We're here to help with our banking solution. You can seamlessly receive crypto-related funds without worrying about accounts freezing anymore. Also, Lee highlights here the first transaction from Global Banking. Swift code is here. Complies with ISO 20 or ISO 9326 colon 2014 standard. GlobeCash is going to open a banking service to individual and institutions. So we can see some screenshots of that here, which is, you know, great stuff to see all around, truth be told. Casper Enthusiast asks here, is there a connection to Casper with this? And Oyson Lee replies here saying that GlobeCash is dedicated to fiat payment infrastructure with its brother company CoinPal. GlobeCash CoinPal will provide a batch solution not only for Casper but for all other cryptocurrencies. If you want to make Casper as a technology of daily payments, i.e. integrate stablecoin payments on top of Casper proof of point of sale, on top of Casper in POS, it is required authorization of regulators. In other hands, due to GlobeCash and CoinPal are regulated, merchants' funds are secured and protected by law. So it's highlighting that, you know, obviously, you know, CoinPal, they're connected to the KF, therefore Casper technically, and it will have connections to Casper therefore in that sense, but it's more so just again them building a bank and a platform for all cryptos to be utilized, and they already got regulations which are good for them as well, so that could help Casper out. But again, we'll have to wait and see how this unfolds. But it's good to see again more developments happening and a further acceleration of crypto adoption. In some macro news as well, again, we spoke about this already, China and America are now talking in London right now. Equally also very insightful and very important when it loads here. My PC is so terrible, it's taking so long to load. So regarding the SEC task force happening right now, wow, that's terrible. I need to get some more RAM, honestly. I haven't even got that many tabs open, truth be told. Don't know why. I think I need to restart my PC. It's one of those days. When your PC doesn't really load properly, you need to restart it. Paul Atkins says the right of self-custody crypto is a foundational American value. That's good to hear the SEC chairman say that. Wow, that's terrible. Okay, well, while I wait for that to load, I'll answer more questions real quickly. What's up, Greg, bro? You're doing very, very well, my man. What is in it for Igra and Casper to develop these little smart contracts, or these light smart contracts? Do they get paid by the capital project, or do the work? What's in it for them? Well, it's a good question. Ultimately, the miners will get paid from this, and there will be, money to be made. It's a question that is definitely one that should be addressed to the two teams themselves, because you could ask the same question of Casper themselves. What do the Casper developers get out of this? Because the whole premise of Casper is a fair launch proof of work. So what do they get out of building Casper themselves? So again, definitely worth reaching out to those people if you can. I'll do it for you if you feel that I need to for you. Or say if you want me to do it, I'll reach out for them as well, so I can find out an answer for you. But they both claim to be non-profits, just initiatives trying to build on Casper. Ultimately, if they can be the first ones to build and be the the dominant chain, if you will, or dominant infrastructure layer 2 for it, they will see more adoption, and therefore that might increase their capital inflow. Maybe they get some investments therefore from some other VCs who want to have a hedge interest into the project. Again, I have to find out more about that. We can see here from this post here, and I'm going to load it. Oh, these have loaded up. Cool. So we can see here, SEC Chairman Paul Atkins says that they're now working on a policy to exempt DeFi platforms from regulatory barriers. That is a very big deal, because the biggest issue regarding what's being built right now is the fact there's so many regulations coming out that it's going to restrict crypto and fundamentally just make it, it's going to ruin the whole premise of what crypto is meant to be. So with them trying to find on a policy that's going to exempt DeFi from these regulatory barriers to make them too restrictive, that's going to be a very big thing, while also still providing protection as well. You've got a whole thread here about it as well, which we'll be posting in my Discord server as well, so go check that out down below. And this is also a video I'm going to be playing as well here. Again, why I believe you need Casper here. Sam Altman says eventually the cost of AI will converge to the cost of energy. Robots can build chips, optimize networks, but an electron is an electron. In the end, intelligence will scale as far as the grid allows. And the KR replies here saying this is increasingly going to become a broader societal issue. There is an unseen engine that's gaining momentum. Luckily, we have Casper for various purposes as rails to assist to building new ecosystems to support this. It's much broader challenge than most realize. Energy is fundamentally the best form of currency. Even with building AI, energy is what it is. That's why Casper is, in that regard, deemed as the perfect solution to all of it, because it is proof of work. It is mining energy, and while mining is not profitable right now, I'm sure with the ecosystem going to a growing adoption, the price therefore running as well, you'll see more of an incentive to miners to turn back online to start mining Casper, and we'll see it go up as well. So listen very closely to this interview here, and we'll come back full circle.
Well, you touched on a great point with energy. I think it's hard to overstate how important energy is to the future here. Eventually, chips, network gear, that will be made by robots, and we'll make that very efficient, and we'll make that cheaper and cheaper. But an electron is an electron. Eventually, the cost of intelligence, the cost of AI will converge to the cost of energy, and if it'll be how much you can have, the abundance of it will be limited by the abundance of energy. So in terms of long-term strategic investments for the U.S. to make, I can't think of anything more important than energy. Chips and all the other infrastructure also, but energy is where I think this ends up.
this is the future that Casper's trying to tackle. The problem, the unseen problem that Casper's trying to tackle right now. That's why, and he'll say it like a broken record, but that's why I'm not worried about Casper's price action in the short term. If I want to make money in the short term, I'm other projects. I hold Sui, I hold XRP, I hold Say, I hold some Tau. You know, I do dabble in some Ethereum trades. I do a lot of trading, especially more recently, thanks to, again, the traders part of our VIP group. Again, if you want to find out more, links down below in the description, and also on my homepage, the WAP right here, where we provide alpha information regarding the institutions and whatnot, educational videos, our weekly live streams, and equally trade alerts as well. And thanks to our working together with BYDFI, we've been able to provide a lot more trades and have been very profitable so far. Trades have been doing very, very well. Again, if you want to find out more about that sort of stuff, you can check. You can see the watermark in the bottom left right now, where you can sign up to BYDFI through my affiliate link, and you get some discounts or many benefits even. But equally, if you sign up through the Discord server, as you can see here, and you follow the steps here, my link, £100 deposit, and then verify your account right here, you'll get permanent VIP access to the BYDFI channels, which are now have properly merged with the VIP as well. And to get access to the other VIP channels, you get a 1 month free trial to that, and then after that, if you like what you see, you come sign up. But yes, there are many benefits to provide there. If you want to find out more, the link down below in the description, and my homepage, www.wap.com/coinfactory. Or additionally and equally, you can just check out the free Discord server, search around, and then sign up for free. If it's a 7-day free trial or 1 month free trial, completely up to you. All's available right there. And again, the market for me is primed for a good rally up. Not financial advice, but I think we're on that cusp right now of big things incoming. I'm looking forward to, again, the trade we're making so far has been very, very good, making a lot of profit right now. So I'm happy I can make that money and then put some of that capital into my Casper while it's still at this 8.7 cent zone right now. Any details on this alleged DDoS to read? I'm convinced. It's a very good question. I imagine this is in their Telegram. In their Telegram right here. This is the picture right here we can see. So I imagine it's in their Telegram. So if you're, I'm not part of the Telegram personally. I'm going to probably join up now because I should be as, you know, spread out as possible to find every part of the ecosystem I can be a part of. But I imagine it's in their Telegram right now. So I again, it's a matter of, I guess, just looking through it yourself. So far, I haven't seen anyone disclaiming or crediting that is not true. But I mean, that's the proof of it there. If you're unconvinced, then of course, DC, make sure you do your own due diligence and look it for yourself. What's up, DD bro? Gang currency. I saw it in your crypto crew video. I'll send you a link, Jay. Thank you very much, brother. I have seen the post you sent to me now, and I'll make sure to look through that. Probably as I go to bed tonight or tomorrow as well. So thank you very much again for that. I am touching that. Again, no one's inclined to touch anything. You're welcome to do as you will. Again, I have not touched it so far. I am undecided if I will touch it. I'm kind of inclined to say I'll put a little bit in to see how it works, how it functions. But again, that tokenomic element and, you know, me understanding what happens to mantra and whatnot, it does make me a bit cautious. That's all I can say. Cautious, because again, I don't want to be a part of a mantra rug pull or a change finance rug pull or anything like that. I want to be protected. That's why, you know, the money I do in trading with BYDFI is money that I'm willing to lose, and I'm happy to trade it. And you know, I've been happy with it so far. And just the capital I make, putting it back into Casper and then putting it into my cold storage and my Tangent wallet. So, welcome back, Wyatt, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. And you too, DJ Paul. The Nacho team holds that 70% of the trust. Yes, you know what? You are right. I do remember hearing that actually. I can't find the information on hand, but I do remember seeing that Zealous had delegated the lock supply up to the Nacho team, I believe. Or at least it was a portion of that. Again, I can't remember in full detail, but I'll find the information. It might actually already be available on my Discord server. I might have already posted it there, forgetting about it, but you are right there. Is someone holding 300k of Casper a good bag? It really is a fantastic bag. Very fantastic. 300k Casper is a very, very good bag. Again, think about it. That goes to $1 Casper, you've got 300k. So that's a very good bag indeed. And if you're holding Casper long term, and Casper reaches like $100 in the future, I'm not sure how, I'm not giving a time for how it's going to happen. Let's just say Casper just reach $100, you know, you've got 30 mil there. So, yeah, it's a very strong bag. The ads are so frequent now and annoying. You will lose views, unfortunately. I mean, I do apologise, Octus Plus, for that. Again, I really don't control the ads. I don't know what more to say. Unless I turn them off, but I don't control the ads. The ads are just there. YouTube put the ads himself. So I do apologise for that. I mean, you can use ad blocker. By all means, go for it. 300k, that's pocket change for Tony. I mean, yeah, I know Tony's a whale from what I've heard. But it's a good back, definitely. And yes, actually you're right, smash the likes. You've got a few Mr. Miles. Yeah, Mr. Miles is he's currently sleeping right now, I think. Higher, sent everything higher. Yes, I do hope so. Next level cash, everything will be sent higher very, very soon. Hopefully get some good announcement today regarding Trump. We are seeing, again, Bitcoin trying to make that break towards its support or resistance here. If we can break above that, that'd be very, very good to see. I'm a bit skeptical. I don't think we'll break above that today. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'll have to wait and see. Nacho is pumping. Yeah, Nacho's doing very well right now. I'm surprised. Maybe not surprised is the right word, but I'm curious as to why it's pumping the way it is. But it was doing very, very well. You know, up. And again, I mean, I'm up on Nacho because I got in below 10 mil. Which is, I find that kind of fortunate for me, I guess, because I remember saying to the community ages back, I'm going to be getting some of these memes. And I said it for a very, very long time without ever actually putting the pin. And then I finally did it. I actually got Wolfie first, and then I got some Nacho. And I'm eyeing up some other ones as well right now, but I managed to get them, and I got both at fortunate levels so far. So, again, from holding the rest of the cycle, I'm hoping to get some gain from that as well. That's another one of the things Kane is trying to solve by using immutable memory. As it learns, it will require less computation. Yeah, I mean, that is going to be a spectacle to see. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that evolves as well and how it solved it as well. But it's safe to say the stuff being built for Casper or on Casper is going to shock people's minds. It's going to blow people's minds, and it's the nature of just Casper with what it is. It just gives you developers the freedom of building whatever they want. Truly open source, the freedom for everything. Casper and Nacho is all you guys need. I mean, they are two of the strongest. Well, Casper's one of the strongest crypto projects, and Nacho is the strongest meme on Casper. So arguably, yes, they are all you need. Of course, you know me personally. I do hold Casper, my biggest bag by a country mile. I do hold some XRP, I do hold some Sui, some Say. I used to hold Vulcan Forge, I had to sell it off by Mike Scribbles again very, very soon. I hold some Tau. I do hold Desync, which I haven't spoken about Desync in a very, very long time. I guess it's one of my hidden gems I don't speak about frequently enough, but I think Desync also is a very sound and decent AI project. Got 139 mil market cap right now. I spoke about it around this price level on this channel. It has come back down to where it was. I spoke about it around here, and it did run up to 50 cents. I think it can easily do that again this cycle, so not financial advice. But I'm currently looking to DCA again at these levels right now. It could be a good entry point here. But there's many, many projects to look into. Again, of course, do your own due diligence, your own research. Not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to invest into. Every Casper under $10 is cheap. Micropayments, 100 BPS, smart contracts, Dagonite, Warp Core, Tier 1 listings will pump Casper over $100. In the future to come, Casper, I see a possibility to surpass $100. Of course, that would mean that Casper would be sitting at around a $2.6 trillion market cap, which sounds excessive, but I've heard, for example, from Kathy Wood, the CEO, COO, and co-founder of ARK Invest, 21 shares. She mentioned that she believes in the next 5 years, and again, it's her prediction, she could very well be wrong, but she believes in the next 5 years, Bitcoin will be worth 30 trillion, a 50 next, which is insane. It's nuts. So, in that regard, if Bitcoin's 30 trillion, therefore, the total crypto market will probably be around 60, if not even a little bit more by that point. Can Casper reach 2 trillion, therefore, being $100? It's a question to ask yourself, ultimately. But I do think Casper can reach that in the future. Definitely not this cycle. But who knows? Do you think Casper can reach someday $1 like someday? Yeah. I think Casper can reach $1 quite comfortably. Definitely someday. Maybe sometime soon. We'll have to wait and see ultimately. But I'm not worried about Casper and its price action because its deflationary element is just going to continue appreciating over time. It's been a long haul for Casper, you know. It's been frustrating to hold the project. But you're holding a project right now that hasn't got a smart contract element or a DeFi element or layer 2s on it yet. You're holding a project that's still very much in its design phase. If you're holding Ethereum or XRP, they're kind of fully fledged to what they're meant to be providing. So they're complete. Casper's not even complete. It's barely 20% completed. That's what you're holding. You're holding something that's still being built. So the price is frustratingly low, and it's been lackluster, but it's not a complete project. Everything else in this space is more or less complete. And it has tier 1 listings. Casper hasn't got any of that. So you're holding something that is already a top 50 asset without the big developments. That's a way to look at it as well. Will it take off this cycle? We'll have to wait and see. I think it's a possibility. But we'll have to wait and see. But in the years to come, there's no doubt Casper's going to be an absolute, a titan in this space. In the Hall of Fame, go down in history. With that being said, that is a little bit under an hour for today's stream, but that will be it for today's content. That's everything I've got to talk about. So if you enjoy the content, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Tomorrow's going to be interesting, with tomorrow being when Congress will be talking about the Clarity Act. So hopefully hear some information about that, and hopefully it gets passed through the Senate floor, because that will be reassuring. If it does not, then we'll probably see some pullbacks tomorrow. Have to wait and see. And then you've got Wednesday being the CPI, I believe, and then the Thursday being the PPI. Let me just quickly double check that. I put it in my important dates in my Discord server. Yes. So yeah, on Wednesday CPI, Thursday PPI. So that'll be important to me as well, to just determine where we're going to see the market going in the term. So yeah, this week's going to be an important one to look out to, and equally, yes. Of course, I won't be here from Friday to Sunday, but hopefully when I come back on Monday, we'll be preparing for that next leg up. And I'll still be here, so stay tuned up until Thursday. You've got 3 more days on me, and then you get a 3-day holiday from me. Oh, you guys lucky. Since people are live in 3 months, 700. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, that'd be. I'm hopeful, and I'm optimistic that in the future, with our conviction in Casper and the community we have, that this is a community that's going to take off a lot more, and I'm going to have to definitely delegate some trusted members as dedicated mods, which I have my eyes on some people who have already generously offered, and I might also take a gamble on the guys locked up in my basement. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if I want him to get the power though, but we'll see. Anyways, we'll see in due time. Casper, again, this channel, our community is one that's going to be remembered as the ones who got in early, who knew what they were holding. So we can't count ourselves lucky, as I like to believe. Nacho pumpkins after 8% dump. You know what percentage you need to get back even. Hit is 90%. Oh yeah. It does not. It's not the math. The math does not math like that. Look at Nacho right here. It came down. 80% down here. As you got in down here, fantastic. That's a 4x back up, or even 5x back up. So, as you got in down here, the potential 5x back to its 75 mil market cap. Even if you got in here, well, I got in at 10 mil, so even then, very big multiplier potential from here as well. So, a lot more to come. Very exciting stuff all around. That being said, have a great day. Good evening, good night, my family and my peoples. Check out the free or VIP Discord servers to learn a lot more about crypto and Casper. Leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more, and I will see you all